windows need cleaning.
Excellent. So who am I? Am I a tenant?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to click here, submit button here, because you've given me access as a tenant unlimited or limited. The limited and unlimited difference is that the unlimited can see all work orders within a particular building, but the limited cannot. They can only see work orders in their location. So whether they're in the unit 1 within a building, they'll only see unit 1 work orders. Okay, so work order title. Now, all of this text on the side here for the form can be altered. It's customized by you. So if you don't like work order title, you can put, changes to please specify your issue or whatever. So I'm going to put in here, windows are super dirty, clean them, please. Now, whatever I'm typing in here, the work order title is very important. All you need is 3 items to create a work order in Maxpanda, okay? All these are optional, and I've made them required. But this work order title text becomes the push notification pop-ups in your iPhones and your Androids. It's also the link in the emails that you're going to receive. So if you have the mobile app GoMax loaded, this will pop up on your screen, and even though you're at lunch, you're not at your desk, you're going to get a pop-up, and you can reject it or approve it right there and then. Okay, so that's a very cool feature. Reference ID is an open field. Again, I've seen clients use GL codes to capture GL codes or other items there. Now, what would you put this under? Cleaning, am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, and you can set up your own work categories. Every drop-down in Maxpanda is pre-populated for you already. You can start using it right after this call. So you'll have HVAC, cleaning, electrical, plumbing, all that stuff here, but I'll pick cleaning right now. Priority, everybody needs to select a priority. Again, this is all customized depending on your service level agreements. I've got 7 days, I've got 5 days, I've got 3 hours, 6 hours. What's the due date on this? What would somebody put typically?
Like tomorrow.
What, like tomorrow you said, or 12?
Like probably pretty urgent.
Okay, so what if they made a mistake and we'll say they put medium 5? I'll show you what we can do after that. Saving time, I'm going to copy and paste. So that's their short description, and then this is the notes. They typed it in 3 times here. Really want them clean. They can carbon copy somebody outside of the organization if they log in. So if you have somebody that is not involved in your account, I don't know why, it's unlimited users, but they can carbon copy them. Now, building group is a group. I have 3 building groups set up, IT. So if I pick IT, you'll notice out of those 20 buildings, only 2 show up. So we allow you to group your buildings together. If you don't create building groups, you'll just see all the buildings here. Again, if I was a tenant and I'm assigned to M13, I would only see that one available. Under M13, there are 2 locations that I have options to select. So these are all, the group and the buildings are filters for the location and the asset. Now I'm forcing my staff to pick a location and asset.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick first floor. So my team, whoever I'm gonna assign the work order to, they're gonna have 5 days. The windows are on the first floor. Now, just for fun, I'm going to select some equipment. I'm going to select some HVAC unit and my Ford truck, just so you can see how the data works. And all these assets are only related to the M13 building. The submitter would not be able to edit this information here, like all day task or can they enter the work area or not. I can take a picture of the dirty window and attach it to this work order. So when you're ready to approve it, you're going to see how dirty they are, and you're going to escalate the job to 24 hours. So let's submit the work order now, and you'll notice a work order is created. We're going to start at the very top here. Forget about your tenant now. We're going to talk about you. So Tracy, you received an email, and if you were on the desktop, you're logged into Maxpanda, you'll notice a new pending work order just came in, correct? Windows are super dirty, clean them please. So it's up to you now, whether you want to be on your desktop or your mobile or your tablet, you can edit the work order. because you received a push alert and you received an email. And you have two options. You can simply reject it or approve it. Now, you don't want to approve it because you haven't assigned it to anybody yet, right? So the first part is the work order details. So that's what we're working on right now. We see the windows need cleaning. We noticed they selected 5 days, but you're going to escalate it now. You're going to change it to 1 day. Maxpanda is going to automatically change the due date for you. We're not approving it yet. We're just going to wait a few minutes. Now, you notice the tenant typed this in 3 times. We don't need that, so you can actually clean that up for them. This is continued. They can enter more information up until this work order is completed, okay? Right now, it's not a work order. It's simply pending. You have a private notes section. Private notes are only visible for your maintenance staff, supervisor, editor, admin, the top roles, the maintenance department. The comments is where a maintenance or a vendor would put in any comments they wanted to. The comments is visible to the submitter. So notes and comments are communicated back and forth. Any questions so far?
No.
All of this is optional. All of this is automatically timestamped by the application. You know who created the work order. You can add more files to it. Your staff will know where they're going. If this is going to be assigned to a vendor, I would pick, I don't know, do I have a vendor here? We'll just pick Acme Electric. So this is one of my vendors in this site here, Acme Electric. They're going to have a new work order under their to-do list. They will have 24 hours to complete the work order. On day 2, it becomes red, overdue. All your overdue work orders are right there, plus your view all and company-wide screen. We keep a history and timestamp of all and status history of all of your work orders, all 3 various types. The next tab is your tasks. So I'm going to click on Add New Task right from the work order. It's from here. And you'll notice I have 32 predefined tasks already. And a task could simply be, did you clean up your area, and have a checkbox for them to complete it, right? If you add a task to Maxpanda work order, the staff have to complete the tasks before they can complete the work order, okay? I'm going to add a roof inspection report. So I've got my team going on the first floor or maybe the 10th floor to clean the windows. They might as well go on the roof and do an inspection. Let's look at what it looks like right now on the desktop. So I wrote this thing up about 15 years ago. Your staff must complete the task, or they can say not completed, finish a few of these items that I wrote up, and then tomorrow come in and complete it, right? You can assign different staff to the task than the staff to the work order. So think about a task like a work order within a work order, or another vendor. We can include pictures, docs, audio files to the task as well. Now, when I wrote this thing up, this was a paper-based checklist. I digitized it. So on the mobile app, my staff is going to put in here what was the attic, what did the attic look like. They would put a 5. Any garbage on the roof? No. The type of details you can create to capture are number, letters, dates with time, and checkboxes. So 5 different values and data sets within one task, but you can have unlimited details within a task. And you can add multiple tasks to the work order.
Can you say that again?
You can add multiple tasks to a work order.
Okay.
Like here, I'll go like that.
What were the that were variables?
Oh, the variables are the basic ones. Numbers, letters, like any type of letter. An inspection, like the day, and an inspection with a time, or calendar dates, and checkboxes.
Okay.
So 5 different types. All right, so we don't have time to complete all these tasks, so I'm just going to remove them. Now, the next piece of your work order is the part management. So you'll notice 2 parts came up already. You can create a new part maybe you just ordered, 1,000 sponges to clean the windows. These 2 parts were assigned to those assets I put into the work order already. So if I add new part, I can add new parts. This is my entire inventory here just in this site. So I can add a test node here, whatever, right? So your staff will see how many they have on hand. So here I've got 153 in the warehouse. If I use 3, this goes down to 150. You can have minimum quantity levels to get notified, so you can reorder more, or create a purchase order and have that come in. We have direct issue as well with our purchase orders. Now, direct issue module means that if you ordered, let's say 100 parts, you really need 10 right away to complete a work order. Well, when those 100 come in, you don't need to bring them into the warehouse right away. You can assign 10 right from the PO to a specific work order so your staff can complete them. And the other 9 will go to your warehouse total inventory. The next piece now is your staff. We want to assign this work order to some staff here. So I'm going to assign it to Jimmy and maintenance department and Maxwell. So I see their hourly rate because I'm logged in as Tracy right now, company admin. Now, Tracy, you can capture your staff's weekly hours to see how many hours they're working total on work orders. You can also set a maximum amount, like 30 hours a week. So if people are working, or if this number was like 29, you don't want to add Jimmy to it because he might go overtime, right? On the mobile, they would put in how many hours and minutes they worked before they're completing this work order. You can force this or keep it open, optional for you. It's totally up to you. Invoice, I'll add an invoice. I created the invoice earlier, let's say. So Acme Electric charged us $409 to wash the windows. So we'll add that invoice there. You can create a new invoice within a work order, or under accounting here, just create a new invoice and then add it for tomorrow. Work order attachments are anything that you uploaded during the life cycle of the work order. Now, I didn't upload anything, but under company attachments, you'll notice there's some data here. So the location that we selected, the first floor, has a floor plan. So if you really need, people to know where a specific asset is, it also has a Google map. The piece of equipment, the truck and the HVAC unit have some pictures, and they also have YouTube videos that will help my staff or vendor to check, the O&M manuals and whatever needs to be done on this piece of equipment. Same with the parts as well. These will always be available.
Sorry to interrupt, Steve. What's the capacity of the repository for those sorts of reference information?
There's no capacity, but every file maximum is 10 megs. So you can't upload your own movie that's over 10 megabytes, but you can add as many as you want. And it's always stored on the cloud? Everything's on the cloud. We're on Amazon. Your data's on the Amazon cloud.
Okay.
Now I'm going to approve the work order, and that's all you had to do. I went into a lot of detail, right? Theoretically, you would assign your staff to the work order like I did down here on the mobile, and then click the button approve. So two things just happened now, Tracy. Number one is the vendor and the staff that I've assigned this work order to received an email. They have a new work order on their to-do list, and they have a push alert, right? So they know they have to do this job now, and it is a one-day job. It's due tomorrow at 1:46. The other thing is the person that submitted the work order received an email that said, great news, your work order number 771, windows are dirty, has been approved. So that tenant or that staff member, whoever it was who submitted it, is not going to call you, is not going to email you. They know that the job has started. So let's go ahead and edit this work order now. And I'm going to pretend I am a staff personnel. Now, you'll notice there's more status change options here. So your staff can actually put the work order on hold so it doesn't go overdue because they ordered some sponges or some cleaning material from out of the Bahamas, and it's going to take longer than a day to arrive. So they might as well put it on hold. When the parts arrive, they can put it back to in progress, and Maxpanda timestamps all that for you, okay? Your staff would not see the closed or the canceled buttons on the desktop or the mobile. Those are only for the company admins, supervisors, editors, okay?
And you could send me the what the mobile snapshots look like?
Oh yeah, I will, no problem.
Okay.
So today we're going to skip all that settings. We don't have time, but I'm going to just go ahead and close it. But before I close it, I wanted to go down here and explain all the tasks have to be completed. Parts, we'll pretend we use 3 of these parts here. Your staff needed 3 of these for some reason. Now this part has a cost to it. So if it was $1, we are going to have reports with $3 cost on this work order. Okay. Staff, we'll pretend this person worked some hours and this person worked some hours here. So they each worked a couple of hours. Invoice, we added an invoice already. This is an external cost to the work order, and we didn't upload any documentations, and that's always going to be available. All right, so at this point, your staff, it was ready to complete it. It would have been orange, completed. You would have received an email, push alert, and then you can simply close the work order. Now, if you want to close it, you can put a pop-up note there. Any pop-up notes will be stored in your status history, okay? So I'm going to simply close the work order there. And again, I think you have you're getting the idea that everyone assigned and related to the work order is going to get an email and a push alert if they have the mobile app installed. And the mobile app is free. It's included in your account. So, and the third thing is all this data now is being stored to the cloud in your database for reporting, and no data is ever deleted. You'll notice there's no delete buttons in your work order. Okay, so everything is permanently stored on the cloud. Now you won't see your work orders here right now. I'm only storing 71 work orders in this site, and the reason is because under status, when I load my work orders, I don't want to see my closed and canceled ones every time. I don't want to see my overdue. I've got my own overdue list there, right? But if I click on closed, Maxpanda just loaded 1,074 work orders on my desktop, and I can see 100 at a time, right? So there's 25 at a time as an example. This is your work order here. It is closed. Everything is stored to the cloud. Do you have any final questions or anything related to the work orders?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and go into the